Hi, my name is Catherine Santino, and I'm so honored to introduce my mentee, Pilar Lu-Heda. This year, Pilar embarked on writing a novel, and I could not be more proud to see how she's progressed both as a writer and a young woman. She is always filled with such amazing ideas and concepts, and the eloquent writing that she brings to our sessions just continues to astound me. I'm so glad we got to work on this project together this year, and I'm so excited to share a portion of it with the Girls Right Now community today.
Hi, I'm Pilar, and I'll be reading an excerpt from Chapter 4 of a book I've been working on. My mentor and I wrote this together, and it's the product of many months of planning and research. In this section, our two main characters, Winifred and Bernie, are departing from their train and have to run separate errands around the city of Manchester. Winifred is working towards finding her distant sister and hopes to receive help from an old friend, Luella. Bernie must pick up a reserved book from a library which he believes holds clues to the scandal of his late father's will. Chapter 4. Part of me didn't want to part ways. The thought of going to Luella's alone now seemed daunting. I had maps in my journal and her letters, but something made it seem scarier than I was willing to admit out loud. We stopped just behind the archway and off to the left to avoid the commotion of exiting passengers. I pulled out a railroad map that I had taken from the school library, trying to balance it in its half-unfolded state while closing the unruly carpet bag and snapping the clasp closed. Bernie looked over my shoulder. Myrtle and Union? Yes, my friend's family owns a dressmaking shop there, and that was the address they last used. Why? He traced over the map next to the penciled circle around the corner of Myrtle and Union and a few blocks over and stopped over the wavering blue line. River Irwell. My father took me to the riverfront as a boy. We used to have picnics there while my brothers were at school. It also happens to run right next to the library, see? He pointed once again at the map, this time stopping over the fine print that read Chetham's Library, established 1853. He turned towards the doorway. We can go together. I twisted to my side to fit out the grand doors as people were still all around us and there was little space to be had. I half skipped to reach him before walking in stride with him. What makes you think I don't want to go alone? Oh, do you want to go alone? I think I could manage. That does not answer my question. Do you know how to get there? I haven't been before, but I used to pick up sweets for my sister on Myrtle. It should only be 2 blocks west. Lead the way, then. I realized he must have been doing that since we stepped out of the station, because I was still a step or two behind him, following without questioning. Carriages rambled by as we ambled on, each block looking more or less the same. The road was divided into lanes, but quick and chaotic. I opted to walk on the inner side of the street, away from the foul-smelling puddles and whirling metal rims of wagons. When I realized we had been going on for quite some time, I asked, "How much longer do you think?" 30 minutes to the shop maybe, but 10 to the library. Oh, I pretended as if I remembered or understood at all that the library was closer to the station than Luella's shop. Was I holding the map upside down? Well, would you like to visit the library first? He looked surprised by my question, and I realized that perhaps the intention all along was for us to split ways once he got to the library, but my question implied we were visiting together. Sure, if it's all right with you. I just have to pick up my father's book from the reserved section. It should be brief. Now is probably best to ask. Should I come with you? I can wait outside or walk the rest of the way to the dressmaker if you prefer. You're welcome to come. I used to visit with my family when I was younger, and it's beautiful inside. I think I will. Thank you. Bernie pointed to a narrow road up ahead. As we crossed the street and joined the bustle of the city, I couldn't help but be proud of myself. I had a long journey ahead, but the first step was complete. No matter what happened, at least I knew I finally left Griffith Hall, something that was a fruitful dream for years. Bernie stopped in front of a sprawling rosy brick structure curving around the road and towering with its colored windows. The library. It looked like Griffith's, only awake. The door looked as if the very breath of life had blown them open, inviting scholars and academics into the arching rooms with their mahogany shelves and endless volumes of fabric-bound books. The smell of warmth and parchment was faint in the foyer, reminding me of Briar's room at home. I wondered what she would think of the library now. I stood by the glass display cases, idly reading the pamphlets tacked up beside them. Help wanted and experienced young writers needed, or skilled carpenters wanted. Something about shipwork. We had passed by the bustling docks at some point, and the burning smell of fish and sewage stinging the air was still vivid in my mind. Rose? Bernie's voice cut through my thoughts. Yes, sorry. I really had to get around to telling him my real name. I'll just go over to the desk and ask for my book. Okay. It seemed so personal what Bernie was doing. It struck me that he was truly picking up the last of his father, that he was piecing together the bits of his family, starting with this book. I can stay here. Thank you.